Hi, hey, Wonderhussy here, in the middle of a forest, on top of a hill, overlooking a beautiful lake that unfortunately we can't see because there's just too many dang trees. I didn't actually mean to come camp here. I'm on my way somewhere else, but, well, I got held up yesterday because I was trying to upload a video at a Starbucks and the Wi-Fi was slow, and, well, it just took me longer than anticipated, and so I wasn't able to make it where I was trying to get to, which is on the coast. That's right. It's summertime, in the middle of a heat wave, and I just wanted to be on that damp, foggy Northern California coastline. But anyway, I had to stop for the night, a few hours away from there, and so I looked on my favorite app, freecampsites.net, which is a user-generated database of places you can camp for free, legally. And I find it to be a pretty valuable resource. Just about anywhere I travel, you just put in the name of the town that you're near, and, well, anyone who's ever camped anywhere around there has made little listings you can read, and they tell you stuff like if it felt safe, if there was cell signal, how rough the road was, stuff like that. So I chose this site specifically because it had cell signal and it was more or less on the way that I was headed anyway. And you can see it's actually a pretty nice little site in this gorgeous forest full of birds chirping and flies buzzing. And yes, there was Verizon signal. I got about 1 bar, and then I used my WeBoost cell signal booster, and I was able to go online, watch YouTube videos, pretty much do anything I needed to do. So it was a pretty good place to camp. But would I camp here again? I'm not sure. It just had a real creepy vibe about it, okay? And if you've been watching my channel for any length of time, you know I'm not, like, easily creeped out by stuff. I'll sleep way out in the middle of nowhere, on the edge of Area 51, in a ghost town, whatever. But there's just something about this area here that's kind of, I don't know, it just kind of gave me the heebie-jeebies. Now, first of all, we are in Northern California, and I am kind of, I guess I'm kind of sketched about camping in any forest in Northern California because, gosh, you always have to worry about stumbling on some hippies grow operation, and, well, you read about those murders in the Emerald Triangle and all that kind of thing. That's part of it, but the main part of it is, well, this is the Mendocino National Forest, and I'm just up above this huge, beautiful lake called Clear Lake. I know I have at least one viewer who lives in Clear Lake or near Clear Lake, so I don't want to offend that person or anybody who lives around here, but gosh, there's a lot of sketchy people in this area. And so driving up this long, windy road yesterday at dusk to get to this campsite, it was kind of like, is this safe? And so I drove, I passed one pretty good campsite that actually had a view of the lake and cell signal, but I passed it up for a pretty good reason, and I'll show you on the way back down why. And I ended up driving all the way up past where free campsites said to go because I saw one other person camped, and I don't know, man, I just got kind of spooked and I wanted to be away from anybody else. So I came all the way up here to this beautiful forest glade, and I'll be honest, it was a peaceful night. Nobody bothered me. I think one car just passed like 5 minutes ago, but other than that, I didn't hear anybody all night. But that being said, when I first pulled into this campsite, it was kind of creepy. Okay, the first thing I noticed pretty much everywhere up here at any place to camp is there's just a lot of garbage everywhere. This looks like part of, it looks like an old refrigerator, I guess, that somebody inexplicably dragged all the way up here, dumped off, and then covered in bullet holes and graffiti. And then there's some more metal detritus here with some pretty interesting graffiti on it showing pyramids and UFOs. Not sure about that. But then what really caught my eye and what really kind of creeped me out, and now it's in bright sunlight, so it doesn't look as creepy as it did yesterday in the gloom of twilight, is, well, somebody obviously camped here with little kids, and then they just left this little kid's toy sitting on this stump. Okay, I don't know why, but I just found that, like, really unsettling when I rolled up here yesterday evening. Like, golly, what happened? Like, if you took your kids camping way up here, which, by the way, the other people that I passed on the way up here, it was hard to say, but they didn't really look like recreational campers. They look like campers born of necessity, if you know what I mean. So I thought like, oh man, was some poor homeless family camping up here? And then something happened and they got run off so quickly that not only did they have to leave their kid's toy, but they also had to leave this giant spring from like a shock. Jiminy cricket, I don't know, but that just kind of creeped me out for some reason. And then I noticed in the fire pit, I noticed there was like a crumpled up piece of paper. And so knowing me, I was curious. So I flattened it out and oh my goodness, it's something to do with like Alcoholics Anonymous, I guess. Like it's a list of, I guess, things that this person is trying to tell themselves. I'm not sure what number 1 means, but number 2, I was going to cure the alcoholic. I found I didn't because it can't control it and can't cure it. Get it in your God box. I figured, what will it hurt? It worked. Now I look at luck over my life as a function of my higher power. Deb's falls and her going to rehab. I don't know, man. It's weird. It's like, it seems very personal. Like, who's Deb? Did she fall down? She went to rehab. So this person loved Deb, I guess. Maybe the person was trying to cure the alcoholic was Deb. I don't know. Anyway, it looks like at the bottom, something it gonna hurt. What's it gonna hurt, I guess? I think they're trying to turn it all over to the higher power. And then on the back, it says, free. So knowing me and my overactive imagination, I came up with this whole story about this poor alcoholic or refugee from an alcoholic family that had a kid and had to come up here and try to get away. And oh golly, well, before you know it, I was thoroughly freaked out, and it's a wonder I slept at all. But I actually did sleep pretty good. Like I said, it was a quiet place to camp. Also, like I said, though, would I camp here again? Gosh, I don't know. Wait till you see this other thing I'm going to show you on the way back down. Also, one other thing about this area that is slightly adds the unsettling vibe is there's a hot spring about 22 miles up the road in this forest that I've been wanting to check out, but golly, when I read about it online, it sounds like it's on private property and the woman who owns it is really nasty. Like, if you look up this hot spring and read about it online, woo-wee, this woman almost sounds unhinged. She's so angry about people going to her hot spring, which I guess, you know, to be fair, I can understand. If I had a hot spring on my forest property and all these dirty hippies were always coming in and camping, well, I may be kind of sour about it too. But just the fact that all that is happening right down the road, and then all this, and then the thing that I'm going to show you, just gave me kind of a spooky vibe, such that I'm not sure I would camp here again. There was a really cool campsite, maybe a half a mile back down the road that overlooked the lake, but somebody was already there. So if I did come back, I guess I'd try to get that site. All that being said, I don't really foresee camping in this area too much because I do know, I know a couple people who live in Clear Lake, and one of them has offered to let me stay at their house. I just, it was just a quick pit stop overnight. I don't want to stay in town. I'm just, sleep and go. And also my mom doesn't live too far away from here. So, if I'm ever in this area, I can almost always stay at my mom's house. But for this trip where I'm going, it just didn't make sense for me to go down there. I had to stay here. And well, enough beating around the bush. Let me get in my car and drive back down the road and show you the first place I was going to camp. Okay, I think you probably already figured out why I didn't want to camp here. I mean, first of all, yeah, there's garbage all over the place. Doesn't look like it's very old garbage. Wait, what year is this? Kevin McCarthy. Yeah, it can't be old. So yeah, garbage. I mean, it is kind of a cool little spot. It's hidden in the trees. There's some kind of creepy graffiti carved into this tree. But that's not what scared me. What freaked me out was this abandoned car. Okay, yikes. I didn't want to camp here in case there's like a dead body in it, or whoever dumped it up here comes back to check on it. Okay, it's not even that old of a car. It's a Subaru Outback, and those are nice. You can live in those cars. They go all over the place. But, oh my goodness. Man, it looks like somebody might have been living in here. There's a blanket in there. Yikes, I'm actually kind of afraid to go look at the front. Oh my golly, gee, what happened? There's a shoe full of leaves and broken glass. And speaking of broken glass, the windshield's totally busted in. Oh my goodness, yikers. What happened? Looks like this thing's been here for a while. I mean, from the amount of leaves on the seats. And the engine's just sitting here wide open. I wonder why that is. Animals built nests in it. Yikes. Oh, what's this? It's like a sticker from a junkyard or pick and pull. And then it's also always kind of creepy when you hear gunshots echoing in the distance. I don't know, man. Just this whole area is just creepy. And it's a shame because it's a beautiful forest, presumably with a beautiful hot spring. I just don't know why people are so creepy around here. Look at that. The wheels were taken off and it's just sitting on logs. So I don't know why somebody would drive a car all the way up here and do that to it. Like I said, it's not an old car. It seems like it's probably still, you know, was drivable, but I don't know if it was stolen or the person in it was murdered. Oh my God, I have no idea. It's freaky, but there's the license plate if you want to investigate it. Anyway, all that being said, you can see why that was the first place I pulled in when I came up this road, because I was reading on free campsites, you know, go up the road. One guy said he found a little pull off just past the sign, blah, blah, blah. This was the first place I pulled in, saw that and thought, do I really want to camp here tonight? You know, you do have to consider these things as a solo female traveler. I mean, even as a solo male traveler, just being up here in these woods all alone with people presumably target shooting and, well, God, who knows what else. It's just kind of freaky. And it's a shame because, oh my God, you can see the lake there. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, you can see it right through the trees there. Beautiful lake. Anyway, I would say this was in my top 10 creepiest places I've ever camped. Generally, I feel pretty safe wherever I go, but there's been a few times where I just felt like whether it was out of necessity or just turned out that way, like ended up camping someplace that I really didn't feel too comfortable at. But like I said, I did sleep okay last night, and I'm actually headed someplace really cool today that I'm going to feel very comfortable at. So it's all good. It's all part of the adventure, and, well, all's well that ends well. Except for whatever happened to that person. Oh, what if it's connected to the stuff at my campsite? Oh my gosh. Mom and her daughter were escaping an abusive boyfriend or something. Oh God, there goes my imagination. I better just get back in my car and turn my camera off and roll on to the place I feel safe camping.